and we're back with a new tutorial. So in this one then it gives you how to make a large modern house in Minecraft, and this can be built on any platform. Now I'm going to be showing you how to build it on the Xbox version of Minecraft, but again it doesn't matter which platform you're on. But for the house itself then you're going to need a space of at least 39 by 33 to actually build this house. But I would suggest leaving a little bit extra so you've got a bit of a border around the house. Now to start off with, for the first episode we're going to be working on the exterior, but we are also going to be doing the interior in a future episode. So to start off with then, we're just going to place our doorway, and all you want to do for this is just place 2 birchwood blocks in the floor, and then directly on top of this, on the back of the blocks, we're just going to place 2 wooden doors. Next, on the right of our doorway, we're just going to place 2 quartz columns, and for both of these, you just want to extend both up, so they're 4 blocks in height. Then as you can see, for the 2 rows we extended out on the right, this should be 2 blocks higher than our doorway. So what we're actually going to do for these top 2 blocks is extend them out another 2 on the left for both the 2 rows. So after you've actually placed all your quartz around your doorway, what we can come and do next is place our window on the right. Now for this I'm going to be showing you how to place the bottom layer, and then you just need to place 3 more layers on top of this above. But to start with then, you just want to come to the bottom right hand block where we're just going to place 2 quartz slabs out. And then on the right of the last block, you can just place another 7. Then as I mentioned, we're just going to do exactly the same for the 3 rows above. And again, you just want to leave half a block space between each row. So once you have done this, we're just going to come on the right hand side of the slabs we extended out, and here we're just going to place 1 row of quartz that's 4 high. Okay, so that's the first window placed. What we are going to come and do next though is place a stone section that divides up the building. Now for this again, we're going to come diagonal to the bottom right hand block, but this time you just want to place a C shape with your stone. So just placing 4 across the back, and then on the outside too, you can just place an additional stone block in front. Then you can just extend all of these stone blocks up another 11 blocks. That's the first one extended up, and now just do the same for the other remaining rows. And there you go, that's our stone section added down the middle. What we are going to do now though is actually come on the right, where we're just going to add another window. So for this, you just want to start off by doing the same and placing 4 high of your quartz, and then we're just going to add our window on the right. For the second window though, it is going to be the same design as the first window, except this time we're just going to start off by extending out 8 blocks to begin with, and then behind the last block, you just want to place another 4 blocks. So that's the bottom row placed, and now just to place an additional 3 more rows on top, again leaving half a block space between each row. And once you've done this, on the right hand side, the slabs we just extended out, you can just place 2 more quartz rows. And there you go, that's the bottom 2 windows marked out. What we are going to do now though is come behind both our windows, and we're just going to place our glass. So for this, you just want to place a glass block behind every slab, and we're just going to start on the left and work our way over. That's the bottom left window done, now just do the same behind the bottom right. And there you go, so that's the bottom 2 windows placed. What we are going to come and do next though is add the 2 windows above. But before we do, what we actually need to do first is actually divide up the 2 floors. So for this, we're going to start off by coming to the top left hand block above our doorway, and here you just want to place it 6 blocks back with your quartz. After this, on the right of the last block, we're again going to extend our quartz out, but this time extending out 24 blocks, so it should finish in line with the far right hand side of the building. After this, you want to extend your quartz row out by 1 more block, and then behind the last block, you want to extend it back another 9. Okay, so that's that bit finally done. What we are going to do next though is come back over to the left hand side where we're just going to place an additional quartz block on top of all of the blocks that we haven't placed a block on top of already. So this bit isn't the easiest bit to explain, but for this bit I would suggest just follow along on screen and then you can see where we actually place our blocks. But again, we're going to do this for the left hand side to start with. That's that bit done, so what we're going to do now is fill in the space in the middle with our quartz. So there you go, that's the left hand side done. What we are going to do now though is come over to the right hand side and just do exactly the same. But before we do, what we're going to do is come between the 2 stone rows that we extended up, and in between these 2, we're just going to place 2 more quartz blocks. After this, same as what we did on the left, you just need to place a quartz block on all of the blocks we haven't placed a quartz block on top of already. Now just fill in the space in the middle to finish off this bit. So there you go, that's the bottom 2 windows placed. What we are going to do directly above these 2 though is do exactly the same with our windows, but instead of placing glass behind them, we're going to be placing our birchwood planks. But to start off this top section then, we're just going to come to the back, where we're just going to place 4 high, again using our quartz for this bit. Then on the right, we're just going to do exactly the same as what we did underneath for our window. So you just want to start off by coming to the bottom right hand corner, and in front of this, we're just going to place 2 blocks out. And then on the right of the last block, you can just place another 7. Now just to extend our slabs up another 3 more rows, again leaving half block space between each row. Once we sleep then, we're just going to add 1 more quartz row on the right hand side of the window we just placed, and then we can just come over to the right hand side and carry on from there. And as I mentioned now, you can just add 1 more row of quartz on the right of our slabs. Next then is coming across the right hand side, and first we're just going to place 1 quartz row on this side, again making it 4 high. But on the right of this, what you want to do next is place 8 blocks out with your slabs, and then behind the last block you just want to place another 4. Now to just go ahead and add another 3 more rows on top. That's that bit done, and same as our bottom right hand window to finish off this bit, we're just going to place it 2 more rows of quartz, again making them 4 high. The next thing we're going to be doing for this top bit is behind every slab we're just going to be placing a birchwood plank. That's the left hand side done, now just coming across the right hand side. And there you go, that's the whole of this section finished off. What we are going to do for the rest of this episode now is place the section on the left hand side of the doorway. So just coming over to the left then, and next to our doorway, we're just going to begin by placing 9 birchwood planks out. And then for all of these, we're just going to extend them all up, so they're all 4 blocks in height, so just add another 3 blocks on top. After this, just coming round to the other side of the wall, and 1 block in, we're just going to place 1 row of quartz, which is 4 high. Next on the left of this, we're just going to add a 1 wide window, so just replacing the grass block in the floor with a birchwood plank, and then on top you can just place it 4 high with your glass panes. Once you've done that, we're just going to place 4 wide of our quartz on the left. And lastly, to finish off this front section, you just need to come diagonal to the last quartz row we added, and here we're just going to place it 3 wide with our birchwood planks. So there you go, that's that little section done. What we are going to do next though is come behind the bottom left hand block, where we're just going to extend our planks back another 7 blocks. After this, to finish off this side, we just need to come diagonal again to the last row we placed, where we're just going to place 1 more row of quartz. So there you go, that's the bottom half placed for this section. What we are going to do next though is place the floor that divides up the 2 layers. Now for this then, you want to come in front of the far left hand row of quartz, and here we're just going to place 4 blocks back with our quartz again, so it should finish at 1 block in front of where our birchwood planks are. And then on the left of the last block, just extending it out another 11 blocks. And lastly, just extending it back 1 more time, 9 blocks. So the last block should finish directly on top of the last quartz row we placed also. After this, for all of the space in the middle, you can just fill it all in with your quartz. Okay, so we have now placed the layer which divides up the 2 floors. What we are going to do next though is come over to the far right hand row of quartz, where you just want to extend it all the way back so it finishes in line with the row of quartz beneath. Now, as you might have guessed, we're just going to extend this up another 3 more rows. As you can see now on screen, what we're going to be doing next is placing our window on the left of this. So for this, what we're going to do to start off with is just come up 1 block in, and here you just want to place it 7 across with your glass panes. And once you've done that, just remembering to extend them all up, so again they're all 4 blocks in height. Next, on the left of this, you just want to add 3 rows of birchwood planks. For the next bit we're doing, this bit is also going to be the same as underneath, so what you want to do is come to the bottom left hand block and just extend it back another 7 blocks. So once you have done that, lastly to finish off the sidewall, you just need to place up 1 more row of quartz diagonal to the last row we placed. And there you go, that's that bit done. So all we're going to do now to finish off this part is just to place our roof on top of this bit. Now for this then, all we're going to do to start this off is just come to the back right hand corner, where you just want to extend your quartz row all the way around at the outside row. Now for this bit I just suggest following along, as again it is going around the outside row with your quartz. Now just to go ahead and fill in the middle, again using our quartz for this bit. So there you go, that was the last thing we're going to be doing for this part. What we're going to be doing in the next part though is carrying on with the exterior, and hopefully we'll be close to finishing in the next part.